Hello, everyone. Welcome to what I assume, at least, is going to be. Oh, I'm looking down. Didn't mean to do that. Let's. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to what I assume will be the finale of Higurashi, Chapter 5, Meakashi. Now, again, I might be wrong. There's entirely a chance that I'm wrong about this, but I don't know where else the story will go, and it just feels like the point. Because I think we're getting away, and then we know something happens in not in an apartment room, right? So I guess we'll see what happens. June 1983. There has been a series of disappearances in Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone City, XX Prefecture. The suspect is Mion Sonozaki, 1X years old. That's strange. Is there a reason why they're not putting a number there? That's curious. I feel like that should be the easiest, most clear info. I think it's just because they're trying to avoid being too explicit with the dates, or it is a to protect the child's, stuff thing. Allegedly, she abducted, imprisoned, and killed 5 Hinamizawa, I guess that's a word, residents. Oryu Sonozaki, Shion Sonozaki, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, Rika Furude, and Satoko Hojo between June 19th and 21st. Preliminary investigations on the incident were delayed at the time due to insufficient evidence, but by chance the case was solved rather abruptly. On the morning of the 22nd, a vehicle patrolling the Sonozaki property heard screams from inside and rushed in as an emergency measure. So that's a lie, right? Because Keiichi asked for this, so that's a lie. That makes this, okay, well, that puts this whole thing into question. I mean, also, we know that some parts of it are wrong. They secured the suspect's missing younger sister, Shion Sonozaki, and her 2 missing classmates, Keiichi Maibara and Reina Ryugu. The suspect fled the scene. We found hair, pieces of skin, and blood of the 4 missing people, Oryu Sonozaki, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, Rika Furude, and Satoko Hojo, in the torture room that was discovered in the basement of the outbuilding on the Sonozaki family property. Supposedly, that's where they were killed. We concluded that the victims were tortured in that torture room. However, the remains have still not been found. According to one of her imprisoned classmates' advice, the bodies should be somewhere in the basement of the outbuilding where the torture took place. However, nothing has been uncovered as of yet, including the escape route the suspect took. Oh, you guys are incompetent as hell. You just opened up the room and were like, yep, nothing in here. You really, I mean, there was literally, you just opened up a cell, and then it goes like, are you stupid? In addition, investigations continue regarding any possible connection to the series of mysterious deaths in recent years. But no evidence that Mion Sonozaki was involved, either directly or indirectly, has been found. There are still many unclear points as to the motive behind the incident, and as those of the Sonozaki family and the residents of Hinamizawa have been extremely uncooperative in assisting us, we expect to require a long time to clarify them. The opinion of a local officer knowledgeable about the region is that this is not Oichi. Okay. The opinion of a local officer knowledgeable about the region is that this may have been a lynching, an internal form of punishing sacrilegious acts carried out against the beliefs of Hinamizawa Village. It is clear that these incidents are particularly rooted in this region, and the Prefectural Police Department has ordered a cautious investigation. We anticipated gaining valuable clues from the missing person, believed to have been imprisoned for the longest time, Shion Sonozaki, the suspect's younger sister. However, the incident has left such a serious mental after-effect that she has not been in a state of mind to properly answer any questions about what she knows. A psychiatrist concluded that she is in a temporary state of shock, but as of today, she has yet to show any improvement. Now, is she acting, or has she literally been reduced to a shell. Oh, well, thank you for the very explicit answer to my question, video game that is listening to me. I was acting at first. It was an act to avoid being interrogated by the police. As it turns out, fake insanity can become real. You see, I couldn't bear it any longer. I continued to be haunted by the presence Rena Ryugu had talked about. It was so close it could almost touch my back. It wasn't Satoshi-kun, and it wasn't a hallucination. It had become Shion's ghost. Shion didn't go to heaven after all. She was always by my side instead. Shion didn't like the fact that I was still alive when she wasn't. So she had decided to haunt me until she witnessed my death. Every night she whispered to me, telling me to die. I get it. I get it. I shouted at the Shion in my back. Through my mouth, she shouted back at me. It must look odd to other people. They'd think I was arguing with myself. It's not fair. Why are you still living, sis? Die, die, die already. You said you'd die right after you killed me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's so dark and cold in this well. It's cold. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I get it. I get it. Shut up. What exactly do you think, sis? You won't die in the way you want to. You're just running away. You're trying to survive even after you did all those horrible things. You'll never be forgiven. You're cursed. You're cursed. You're destined to die.
やかましいよ、シオン。亡霊のくせにやかましい、やかましい。おねえ、おねえ。クソったれが。消え失せやがれ。ミオンはずるい。ミオンだけずるい。姉妹はいつも一緒。死んでも一緒。だからミオンほら迎えに来たんだよ。ミオン。
Oh. They sent her back home. Shion banged on the door. That noise is too loud. It's cracking my ears and my head open. Shion's trying to break in. Ah, shit, all right, Shion, I get it. The perfect way for me to die is to be cursed to death by you, isn't it? But I won't be going so easily. I won't simply disappear. It wouldn't be fair if your beloved was left alive after all. I went out onto the balcony to avoid Shion, who's on the other side of the door. If I jump over the railing to the neighboring apartment, I could reach the fire escape. Eat shit, Shion. I leaned over the railing and jumped to the balcony next door. Then I rushed down the stairs, noiseless as a cat. Shion was too stupid to realize that I escaped. It wouldn't take long to get to Keiichi's house on a motorcycle. Shion must believe that I'm still in that room. She's so stupid. Soon enough, I could see the Maibara mansion. I'd never seen it before, but I'd heard a great deal about it from Shion. She told me that Keiichi's room is on the second floor. I should wake him up. Throw a stone. I threw a couple stones at the window, and shortly thereafter the light turned on and the window opened. I saw Keiichi there. The moment I saw him, my madness cooled off for a while. Even from here, I could tell that Keiichi was running down the stairs. He showed up quickly, with a doll in his hand. I felt depressed to see it. It was the doll he failed to give to Shion. It isn't fair after all, Shion. I'm so jealous, Kei-chan. I want to receive a doll. From Satoshi-kun, too.
Mion!
お久しぶり。
She just switches into acting mode like it's nothing.
どう？
That's crazy.
元気にしてた？
Despite the burning insanity within me, I spoke to him calmly. It's true. My body is controlled by the demon now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here this late.
お前、こんなところをうろついてて大丈夫なのか？
本当はいけないよ。
それより、 どうしたんだよ、こんな時間に。
最後にお話ししたかったから。
I feel horribly sleepy. Maybe it's more like fainting due to loss of blood. That sensation is proof that the insanity is swallowing me.
私ね、もうここにはいられない。
大丈夫か？どこか具合でも。
今日まで頑張ってきたけど、自分でわかるのもうダメ。もう限界。私のお迎えはもうすぐ後ろまで来てる。
I won't get to decide how I die. Shion won't allow me to. No wonder I dropped her down the well. It wasn't only her. None of the people I killed chose to die how they did. Considering that, debating how I'll die must seem a luxurious concern to the dead.
大丈夫かよ、もう無理するな。あ、そうだ、俺ミオに。
I'll kill him. Kill him. Kill him. I'll avenge Satoshi-kun's death. I'll avenge his death. This guy is Shion's beloved. I hate her. I'll kill him and teach her a lesson. Eat this shit. While gravity's pulse spun around me, I realized that I had stabbed him with a knife. 'I made it, I made it, I made it before Shion killed me. I got back at her. Take that, Shion. Keiichi rolled on the ground, clutching his stomach.
できた、全部できた。私が殺したやつはこれで全員。
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I'll avenge your death, Satoshi-kun. Don't you love me for it? Will you stroke my head? Every time I have to act like this, I feel lightheaded. It happens every time. Yes. This was all a bad dream. After all, I was just in my room like always, suffering from nightmares of Shion. But where was I now? I had been standing on my apartment's fire escape alone. I could still recall that dream. Yes, I had stepped out onto the veranda. My front door was still locked, so I had to climb through the veranda again. Oh. My foot had slipped, and then I felt a floating sensation. After that, a sharp, indescribable pain ran through my head. That incredible pain finally cleared the fog away from my nightmare. God. Like... Yeah. I just slipped from the fire escape as I tried to return to my balcony, and fell onto the roof jutting out from the elevator hall 2 or 3 floors down. My room is on the 8th floor. I wasn't expecting to be caught up here. When I fell, my head landed right on the concrete corner, and I could feel both enormous pain and the warm blood dripping out. I felt strangely calm. I couldn't sense the demon. Shion's ghost or my grudge. I felt just like a baby. The nothingness brought me to peace. All my memories from when I was born and named Mion, up until today, came to my mind. I recalled memories of the time I'd spent with Satoshi-kun. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Where did I go wrong? Where in my life did I make the wrong choice? I do know just when and where that was, because Satoshi-kun reminded me. I'll leave Satoko to you. Sure. I believe you'll return. I'll be waiting for you. I'll take care of Satoko. I'll wait for her, for you with her. We'll be good girls. You left your precious sister to me and nobody else. I guess I didn't get the significance of what you said. But I'll be fine this time. I love you, Satoshi-kun. Satoko, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Shion, I'm really sorry. Could I repay everything with my death? No way, right? That's not how it should be done. I wanted Satoshi-kun to stroke my head one more time. I wanted to hear him mumble one more time. I knew it was too much to ask, and so I had no other regrets. That brought an end to my apologies. I rolled over, sending myself falling to the ground. Head first. I hoped my head would crack open, to take me to the hell I deserved. I was just a demon. I belonged in hell. Why was I born? Why did this world give birth to me? I shouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have had to suffer if I hadn't been. What was the meaning of my meaningless life? If I wasn't born, nobody would have had to suffer. Thank you for treating me kindly, even though I was like this. Thank you for teaching me love, even though I was like this. Even though I was like this. Even though... I'm really sorry, everybody. I really am. I'm sorry. If Satoshi-kun could give me another chance, I wouldn't make the same mistake again. Never again. Here comes the ground. Bye. I love you. I wish
今日まで
so...
の出来事がすべて夢だったらいいのになって何度も思った。だから書いてみた。書いて夢になると信じて。ほら、よく漫画の中にあるじゃない？私の目の前に食べきれないほどのお菓子が積み上げてあって、それに手を伸ばし、まさに食らいつこうというところで、無粋に起こされて目を覚ますの。それはとてつもなく長い夢で、私は1年以上も眠っていたことになる。そう、私は監督の野球チームの試合の後、有頂天に駆け出して、赤信号の横断歩道に踊り出して、バイクにはねられてしまった。それでずっと1年以上も意識が戻らなくて、ようやく目が覚めるの。まぶたを開けたとき、そこには病院の天井が飛び込んでくる。それからずっと看病しててくれたサトシくんが覗き込んでくれてさすがにこれはできすぎか。でもいいよね。そういうことにしてもいいよね。生まれ
Damn.
てきてごめんなさい。
God, you can't put that in the bottom corner like that. Jesus. Oh my god, okay, we get another one of these. Okay. Breakdowns of all persons involved with or linked to the series of deaths in... Oh, wait, whoa, I should write these down. Okay, wait. Okay. So, the aunt's name, right? Where's the aunt? Death by blunt force trauma. Tamae Hojo. That was... Okay, that's the mom there. I don't have that on there. Satoshi Hojo. Whereabouts unknown. Okay. Jiro Tomatake. Believed to have committed suicide. Death resembles that of Rika Furude. Okay, Mio Takano, death by strangulation in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture, incinerated, ongoing investigation. Oryu Sonozaki, cause of death to be shock induced by stun gun, violently abused post-mortem, head shows signs of extreme laceration. Rika Furude, believed to have been murdered by Shion Sonozaki, cause of death was shock due to extreme hemorrhaging caused by lacerations to the throat. Death resembles that of Jiro Tomatake. Kichiro Kimiyoshi, ligature strangulation. Satoko Hojo, shock due to hemorrhaging involved by multiple penetration wounds. Mion Sonozaki, cause of death severe trauma due to impact. Okay, so they did find Mion. Well, Mion. Wait, yeah. Keiichi Maibara, victim, was stabbed but is recuperating in the hospital. Rena Ryugu currently resides in Shishibone. Kuroto Oishi, he's in Hokkaido. Kumagai is in Shishibone. Kirie, address unknown. What the frick? Tatsuyoshi Kasai, died of liver cancer. What the frick? Oh, you just throw that in there? Ichiro Maibara. Okay, so the parents went to Tokyo. Daiki Tomita. Some of these I'm trying to even remember who some of these are. Wait, they all just moved to Tokyo? Teppei moved to Tokyo? Oh! Keiichi Maibara died in hospital cause... Right, because we had the weird dream of her, didn't we? Right. Shion Sonozaki, cause of death is severe trauma due to impact after falling from her balcony apartment. The suspect for serial murders, which began on June 20th, 1983, fell to her death from balcony of apartment, which she hastily rented to conceal her identity. Oh, so they just figured it out. Following her death, police filed charges against her. Well, what the frick? What does it mean you put charges against her? Does that actually mean anything? Is it just for the books? To be like, oh, she's dead, but now we're gonna charge you. Does that, I guess in the end clears Mion's name? Kind of? Dude, Kasai just died of... Wow. Okay. Oh my god, do you think he drank himself to death? Wait, that'd be so sad actually to think about that. Oh? What the frick? Huh?
そらレナ、机をくっつけろ。
What are we doing?
今日はレナのお弁当はミートボールなんだよ。
Meatball.
おお、そりゃいいね。おじさんもぜひいただくよ。ほらリカちゃん、机。くっつけるのですよ。ペター。残念なことにミートボールは私も大好物でござ
We
いま
all
すよ。
love meatballs. I love a good meatball. Except when there's like the bone chunks in it.
皆さんに一口でも口に入ると思わないことでしたよ。
They do that in China sometimes. They like leave big hearty chunks of bone in there. Like tiny pieces. And they're meant to give it like texture and stuff. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like eating bone.
残念。そうはいかないです、さとこ。
That's a rare sprite. Is that her Catholic uniform? I think it is. But that's also right. Okay, well, question. Okay, well, first up, I always gotta remember it's P. I always want to press M. Well, you look super evil with that one. Also, that is an entirely different outfit, but it's more accurate. I think I just definitely prefer the actual costumes of the console art too.
明らかに野菜不足のさとこには 特別にかぼちゃ弁当を用意させてもらいました。
Oh my god, wait, is this like in her dream slash heaven and she's being nice to Satoko? Oh no.
うわ、そりゃいじめだぞシオン。
うわー、かぼちゃは嫌ですの。
Come on, squash is delicious. Grow up.
ほら、そのかぼちゃ嫌いはダメです。かぼちゃはですね、栄養価にとても優れてい
It's
るん
also
です。
delicious. You just steam it. It's so good.
育ち盛りのさとこは特に栄養に気を使わないといけないんですよ。私の目の黒いうちは変色は認めないので、その覚悟でお願いします。ほらほら、みんなもどうぞどうぞ。ほこほこ
I told
の
you.
かぼちゃって甘くて美味しいんですよ。
All you need is a little salt and it's delicious.
もにゅもにゅ。さとこ、これなら甘くて美味しいのですよ。
Yeah. I treat it almost like a more dessert than a friggin' vegetable.
お、確かにこりゃいけるな。かぼちゃの甘みが嫌みなく、それでいて絶妙で。さとこ、お前は食うな、もったいない。
なんですって？かぼちゃは嫌いですけど、言い方が気に入りませんわ。
そら言った言った。一口にガバッと言ってみなよ。
ほらね、美味しいでしょ？まあ食べれなくもないですわね。
当たり前です。さとこがかぼちゃ嫌いを克服できるように日夜研究してますので。さて、この調子で今年中にナス、ピーマン、アスパラガスと制覇していきましょう。
Those are all really good.
冗談はごめんですわ。私が沖宮の学校に転校しましてよ。
ダメです。さとしくんから頼まれている以上、健康管理は私の担当です。
Is this literally meant to be like a this is what she dreams of the good route to be?
不摂生も許しませんから、そのつもりで。
シオンさん嫌い。かぼちゃ嫌。
Aw. Aw. The white background symbolizes death, you know. That's what fade to whites in movies, it represents death. That's her heaven. That's her heaven, I guess. Which What? What the frick? Game features scenario jump. You can replay any scenario you've completed before the start. What? What? Tips reading room. These are scary. These are new. These are new. These are scary. Why are they so scary for things that are simple features? Okay, well that one's less scary. Staff room has been unlocked. So I guess the scenario jump was retroactively added into the previous ones through the hack there. Oh wait, we get extra tips? Wait, what? I was like, well, what? Okay. Revelation reached an epiphany at the end of it all. Well, I kind of like that they give you some last tips there. Okay. So, let's see here. Extra. Tips first. Okay. So last two we got. Who the frick? Is that your mom? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, well, let's start with a happy diary.
ええ。葛西氏が踏み込んだ時には、室内は無人で
Okay, so
ベラ
we
ンダへ
get to
の窓が
see
開きっぱなし。
what happened after.
その時が飛び降り時刻です。それで、その真下の5階エレベーターフロアの屋根に一度落ちて脳震盪。そのしばらく後に横に転がって再落下。
Okay,
死亡。
I was a little confused by how then I was like, is she rolling in midair? But then the CG, this makes more sense. So it was like, they have like the little elevator part that comes out. She fell onto that. And then from there, she got a concussion. And then she's just like, well, just time to roll onto the ground.
葛西氏が飛び降りを疑って地上を調べた時に遺体が見つからなかったのは、この時点ではエレベーターフロアの屋根の上で混沌中だったからです。 前原圭一が刺されたのはほぼ同じ頃。その頃には園崎シオンはすでに飛び降りていて、屋根の上で脳震盪
Dude,
中。
it's wild. Her having a motorcycle is considered like the motorcycle and the stun gun might as well be stand powers.
違いますね。ベランダから抜け出して前原圭一を刺して、ベランダへまた戻るときに誤って落下じゃないかな。悪いけど周辺の部屋のベランダとかも調べ直してください。
おいさん、3番にお電話です。
はいはい、どちら様から？
佐藤と伝えればわかるとか、合言葉は論と言えと。
な
That's a
もしもし。
mahjong term, by the way.
ああ、佐藤さんですか。こっちへ電話ということはいい知らせでしょうね。
An informant got in contact with me and you were right after all.
ありがとうございます。今度フラワーロードで一杯おごりますよ。
なんです今の電話。
Weird that that one line was
麻
not
雀の
voiced.
誘いですか？
ビンゴ。園崎姉妹は逆なんです。ミオンがシオンでシオンがミオン。入れ墨入れるときに間違って逆にやっちゃって取り返しがつかなくなったらしい。だからこのノートのミオンとシオンは逆に読むんです。
Oh,
それでならサトシ君とシオンさん、いやミオンさん。
oh, right, because they're looking at the notebook, and they got the so they're like we need to flip it around. Okay.
ややこしいな。
Yeah, right. He's right.
の関係が理解できる。
Like again, it's easy to understand but hard to speak.
ノートって先日の大石さん宛てと書
Yeah, who's
か
that
れて
then
郵便
from?
ポストに投函されてたっていう買いノートのことですか？中身はめちゃくちゃで捜査か乱の恐れありって言いませんでしたっけ？
もちろん名前の入れ替えが分かったところでか乱の域を出ませんがね。このノートどこまで信じていいのやら。もし本当なら古出理香の死のあたりが怪しすぎるからな。
異常者の日記ですよ。読んでるとこっちまで変になりそうです。最後のページの生まれてきてごめんなさいなんて読んでるとこっちまで飛び降りたくなりますよ。
Okay, so that means that those last. Okay, so then that was when they were talking about that. That was meaning these were being written in her notebook. Okay.
でも幸せな日記じゃないですか。
Yeah, I'm curious how you can get this conclusion. Let's see.
幸せですか？
この日記だけでサトシ君って名前何回くらい出てくると思います？シオンさんは本当にサトシ君のことが好きだったんだなって、その好きというのがね、若さゆえの勘違いでずれちゃって。
That's a very interesting conclusion. I don't know if I agree with it. Anyways, what happens here? What are we doing? Disowned?
教えてよ母さん。鬼ババとどういう喧嘩をしたわけ？
Dude, your mom's hot. Holy crap. Nice.
感動されるなんてよっぽどだったわけでしょ？
お前もくだらないことに興味が尽きないね。
She's even got the voice.
そろそろ話してもわからない年じゃないか。実はね、父さんと結婚したいって言ったらね、ダ
I'm
メ
gonna.
だって言われちゃったのよ。
Am I gonna click and then Kasai's gonna frown? Or is he just like totally fine with it at this point?
何それ？
私も当時はだいぶ社内生き方してて呆れられててね。その挙句、連れてきた男が人気者だったわけでしょ。
Oh my god, it's a happy version of the
そ
theme.
りゃ大喧嘩よ。
Like, it's just after hearing the sad version for so long, I'm not used to this one.
いい名付けは当主が決めるなんて言われて、そんなの知ったこっかい、こんなクソババア。この場で切り伏せたらって大立ち回りよ。
Okay, so she said kuso baba, which I get. That means shitty grandma. What is a virago? I'm Googling this. Virago meaning, what the frick is virago? A domineering, violent, or bad-tempered woman. archaic, a woman of great spirit or strength, a female warrior. Is it an insult? It's a biblical word. That's a brilliant localization choice then. Holy crap.
互いに板の間の日本刀抜いてちゃんちゃんバラバラ。
Metaphorically or wait, do you mean literally?
鬼ババと盾を演じたわけ？
Oh no, it's literal.
母さんやるね。
まあね。母さん、こう見えても若い頃は武闘派だし、互いに剣道有段だからそりゃあド派手だったわよ。周りはおろおろ。面白かった。
なるほどね。その騒ぎのせいで感動されたわけ？
Wait a sec. Oh, okay. No. I was confused. It's okay.
そうよ。感動上等。遠慮なく感動もらって父さんと席を入れたわよ。ま、けじめってことで爪を剥がされたけどね。
that just happens a lot in the family, huh?
ほら、左手の爪だけいびつでしょ？
うわー。
Wow.
それで鬼ババと母さんはずっと仲が悪いわけだね。
Well, that makes the whole thing with the fingernails with Satoshi make more sense about the whole, oh, well, she approved of it. Because that's what so she had to give the fingernails, but then the marriage went through with her. And so, was that basically doing the same thing again?
シオン、本当はね、そんなことないの。私と鬼ババ様は
Yeah.
ちゃんと仲がいいんだよ。
嘘だ、
鬼ババ様には面倒な世間体があるからね。一度でも感動した以上、甘くすると示しがつかないし。だから私も親類会議とかではおとなしく引っ込んでるけど、たまに遊びに行ってのんびりお茶とか飲んでるよ。
嘘だ。
実はね、内緒よ。鬼ババ様もね、その昔けじめで爪を剥いだことあるんだってよ。
Just everyone losing fingernails. Just for whatever. Oh no, I dropped and broke this commemorative Shrek McDonald's cup that has uranium in it. Time to destroy my fingernails.
今度会ったら左手の爪をよく見てごらん。
鬼ババは何をやったわけ？
そうね。母さんは知らない。
Oh my god, she even acts young. You're perfect.
あ、その顔は知ってるな。教えてよ。
Dude, Kasai, you're so right. Kasai, you're so right. Dude, Kasai, no, you're right, man. I would literally, if I could marry her, I would put myself in service of her for life. I get it, man. I get it. Well, that's interesting, because that's a different background. Why does that have a totally different background? Am I crazy?
ねえ、教えてよ母さん。
Is it an art
鬼
style
ババと
thing?
どういう喧嘩をしたわけ？
If I go to, like, P. Oh. That's not bad. That's not bad. Kasai becomes a freaking unit, though. Okay, that's still not bad. That's still not bad. Again, though, it's very strange because that's not where they are. I wonder why that is.
その
Like,
顔は知ってるな。
was that background
教えて
removed or
よ。
something? Like that, if you look, is that like the Don Quixote in friggin' where is it? That looks like the Don Quixote with the Ferris wheel that I've been to in Dotonbori. Is that very strange? Wonder why that is. Anyways, I think before we do the staff room, let's do the alternate ending here. Let's see the alternate ending and let's see how bad it is. I'm real curious to see if this is something that is as ruining as people have sort of implied. If it's literally just a quick bad end, yeah, let's see here. All right. So,
ケイちゃんの若い悲鳴
What
を
what what if
たっ
what
ぷり
if
と楽し
what if we suddenly look at Keiichi and fall in love with him?
いい加減にしろ。
Keiichi's growl resounded from the pits of his stomach. Oh, I gotta be evil again. Right. Evil mode activated. What a delightful sound. It was like he wanted to rip me apart.
みようやくお目覚め私さっき嘘をついたねシオンを一番むごたらしく殺してやろうと思って閉じ込めておいたけどまだ思いつかないって言ったやつあれが嘘
I smiled menacingly as I laid out the huge nails and hammer, specially made for the nail
あ
table.
の子に自分のせいで死ぬ大勢の人の悲鳴をたっぷりと聞かせて体の芯まで染み通らせてから殺すのなかなかセンスいいでしょ
お前は誰だ？
はミオンでしょその
Okay,
崎
so
ミオ
yeah,
ン
this is
恐怖で頭が変
still about the same.
その崎ミオンであるはずがない。
My hand stopped dead in the tracks. Kei-chan shit had decided it'd be too late. Yeah, this is still the same. Bring it on, I'll listen to you. This is your last chance.
じゃあ私
Okay,
がミオ
right?
ンじゃ
This
なか
is
ったら
where he does the guess. Wait, no, this is different, isn't it? And then I heard it. I most definitely heard it. Keiichi's mouth trembled as he spoke the words, yet his eyes shone with strong conviction. And he spoke the truth.
シオンだな。
Oh, this is different. Wow. You're right. You actually won. You're amazing, Kei-chan. A strange feeling fills my chest as I shiver. I convinced myself there was no way he could guess. But he did. And I couldn't help feeling a bit surprised. This Keiichi had yet again pierced through my
お
disguise.
前はミオンじゃない。さっきまで一緒だったミオンを返せ。
Who are you? You aren't Mion, right?
だから私ミオン
No, that's not it. That wasn't what I meant. You aren't Mion.
どうして私がお姉じゃないって思うんですか
I don't know. Just a feeling. In my mind, memories of the time Keiichi recognized me at the toy store had been revived. Yes, even back then, Keiichi could tell that I wasn't my sister Shion. I had feigned composure and offered a comeback with a straight face, but on the inside I was shook. We were both capable of becoming Mion or Shion, but because I was the real Mion and only Shion legally on paper, reversing the roles was even more easier for me. Wait, what do you mean legally on paper? Wouldn't your birth... Oh, no, I mean, I guess not, huh? Our tones of speech, quirks, and even our auras. We had both mastered each other's habits so perfectly, even our parents weren't able to tell us apart. In fact... Whoa! I can't read it! It's gone! In fact, wasn't that exceptionally sharp Rena not able to figure out that I wasn't her best friend Mion after something? It's still going! It's still going! Okay, wait, we need to go back and read. Right? In fact, wasn't that exceptionally sharp Rena not able to figure out I wasn't her best friend Mion after all despite being so close? So why? Has this Keiichi actually seen my disguise twice?
どうして私がお姉じゃないって思うん
And
で
there's
す
no
か
black border here. Oh god, it's all falling apart. My ears perked up, eager to hear the answer. Keiichi's reply was a soft murmur like an insect's whisper as he gasped for breath in pain. His voice was so quiet it was nearly inaudible, but I could almost recognize the words on his lips. Yes, just a feeling, he
へ
says.
え
Yet again, it was just a feeling. Didn't he say the exact same thing to me this time at the toy store? How nice, what a splendid answer. You'd think why my sister of all people fell in love with him. However, no, rather, it was exactly because of this. Along with my raving madness, the blood that was simmering in my veins was, until just now, rapidly began to turn chill and coagulate. If I were to describe it, it felt like stagnant, muddy water flowing through a gutter. Even now, it was also hilarious. I could fall over laughing, but I didn't smile. On the contrary, My face was vacant and austere, like a no mask of frigid ice. And then the darkness seeped into the innermost depths of my mind, and I was already parting with my self-restraint as a human being. I reach out and touch Keiichi's hair, matted with sweat and caked with blood. Keiichi whips his head away at once in disgust, as if he were staving off a housefly, and glares at me defiantly.
触るなこの鬼め返せミオンを返せよ俺の最高の友人だったミオンを返せ
Having lost liberty over his whole body, he continued to howl and cry as if he were spewing blood. I was supposed to have sold my soul to the devil and become a demon, but faced with such bitter rejection, I felt the crumbled remnants of my emotions stir within me. Munch crunch, munch crunch, crunch munch, crunch munch. My throat began to itch. The crooks of my elbows, my wrists, and every other joint in my body begins to tickle and prickle. Tingle, rather, but I feel irrationally restless. The more the restlessness and irritation piled up, the more this squalling, whimpering person beside me felt bothersome, revolting, so awful I could slaughter him right away. To be frank, until just now, I had no intention of killing Keiichi. I was truly ready to spare at least his life, if he guessed the right answer. That was the rule I had decided upon. Okay, I'll admit it. Just like Shion, I had also fallen in love with Keiichi. He was incredibly silly and good-natured, unbelievably warm-hearted and gentle. Talking to him made me feel contented. Besides, I even sympathized with him. Unlike the lot I dealt with so far, Keiichi was indeed just a victim, caught up in my selfish revenge drama. Now that my revenge against the Sonozaki family was almost complete, I didn't mind saving him. That may sound too convenient, but perhaps the human side of me that was fond of Keiichi wanted to save him in order to seek his forgiveness for my actions. But I've changed my mind. Having witnessed Keiichi guess the right answer before my very eyes, my heart was suffused with a stinging, gaping, overpowering darkness, as if it were freezing over. Why? Why was Shion alone able to meet such a wonderful person? Satoshi-kun could only make a vague distinction between me and Shion. Satoshi-kun abandoned me and ran away. However, this Keiichi trusts Shion. He is defending Shion, whom he values as his best friend, by seeing through my lies. And as a result, he gave up on me. Detestable, maddening, despicable, enviable, so much so that I want to kill them. That's right. The moment he defended Shion, he became one of them. He's equally guilty. You low-life scum, I despise you, 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 you fucking piece of shit! Munch crunch, munch crunch, munch crunch. I'm sorry, are we... Why... Like, all I think about with that is, I'm gonna munch, I'm gonna crunch, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I know it's not what that's meant to be, but you can't use those words. They've been ruined thanks to Vine. What a nuisance. Shion's screams coming from the corner of the chamber were enjoyable before, but now they felt unbearably noisy and pissed me off. How about I just get rid of Shion first? I wanted to kill her. Oh no, not again! I wanted to kill her after she had the most exquisite taste of anguish and terror, but now I could barely suppress the indiscriminate urge to slaughter welling up within me. I bet you these were meant to be done in the visual novel mode, but I'm not using that mode because I think that mode looks ugly. Keiichi was relentlessly yelling his protests towards me. His throat closed up and eventually he gasped for breath, hoarsely continuing to demand Mion's return.
メイドの土産なんて気の利いたものじゃないけれど、どうしても知りたがっているようだから、一つだけ教えてあげるよ。私の中に鬼が宿ったのはずいぶん前。その鬼は私を蝕み、強行に駆り立てようとした。だけれど、私はそれを理性で抑えつけた。鬼はそれで収まり、 私はその鬼はどこかへ行ってしまったんだと思い込んでいた。でも本当は違った。私の中から出て行ったんじゃなく、私の中で眠っていただけだったの。
Yes. When I learned about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, my ailing heart had crammed itself with rage to compensate for the despair. But that was the limit of my insanity. I would have never snapped. Time had healed me, and my memories of Satoshi-kun were neatly wrapped up and pushed into the back of my mind.
その鬼はある小さなことをきっかけにまた目覚めてしまった。
Is this literally the explain to the audience ending?
それは何に原因があったと思う？
It really was the smallest of small things.
鬼の私が教えるのも変だけれど、
I swear to God, is it going to be that we talk to him about the plot and the themes, and then Oishi comes in and just shoots us?
あんたがすべておかしくしてしまった元凶。
A tear rolled down my cheek. That's right. Back then, if you hadn't given that doll to Mion, none of this would have happened.
ケイちゃんには理
Wouldn't
解
it be
で
if
き
you
ないだろうね。
had? It should be if you had, right? No?
理解できなくて当然。だけどね、そこからドミノ倒しみたいにパタパタパタといろんなものが倒れ始めて、初めの小さな一つを倒したあなたに自覚がないのは当然だろうけど、あなたが元凶なの。
Back then, if Keiichi hadn't shown any affection... Oh, okay, no, Wait, I thought he didn't give it, though. Shion wouldn't have been overjoyed. She wouldn't have been overjoyed and cheerful. I guess this is after then it... Okay. And cheerfully boasted about him to me. As I was listening to her, I was reminded of Satoshi-kun. I became jealous of her for having someone she loved so close to her. It was a very small jealousy, but it had awoken the demon who was sleeping deep inside of me. After that, I just let the demon take over. The demon fed upon the copious amounts of sadness I held for Satoshi-kun, and in return it committed heinous acts that Satoshi-kun himself would never be happy with, all in the name of avenging him. And now the horrific events that had followed were inviting me into the realm of demons that had no return.
そんな嘘だろ。
自覚がないのは当然。でも紛れもなく元凶なのはケイちゃん。
Back then, if you hadn't chosen to give the doll to Mion, we could have arrived at a different future. No, that wasn't right. Wouldn't pinpointing Keiichi's small action as the beginning be the height of transferring blame? I was implying such a silly thing had awoken the demon inside me. Even without Keiichi's act, it would have awoken anyway. At the end of the day, it was all my fault. I didn't fight the demon. I allowed it to reside in my soul, and I readily offered it my heart. Keiichi... Keiichi didn't hide his tears. They were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place, as I was not free to do so, having chosen to become a tearless demon. That is why I must go on as the demon. There was no room for human emotions or hesitation anymore. And then... Munch, crunch, munch, crunch, munch, crunch, munch, crunch. Snap! Oh my god, is this Oishi walking up behind us? Maybe? Wait, what? Shion's wails rasping like silk tearing apart, along with my screams of ecstasy. Last thing I heard were those everlasting reverberations. What? What? Did we eat him? Huh? Okay. June 1983. Wait, oh my god, does this just skip? Okay. Okay, screams were heard, personnel, emergency measure. Suspect, 2 classmates taken into custody. Sustained stab wound penetrated by the Oh, we just skip everything at the end? He was transferred to an emergency unit. Their diagnosis is a minor injury. Having been the one with the utmost opportunity to engage in conversation with the suspect till the very end, he will be subject to interrogation once he recovers from shock. No! Oh my god, it's still going. Okay, wait. Furthermore, the apprehended suspect was found at a place 2 meters away from where Keiichi, my bar, was restrained, suffered scratch wounds on her throat. Huh. Huh. She was transferred to it, but was huh. The official autopsy determines that the cause of death was hemorrhage shock due to excessive blood loss. Okay, well, we were scratching at our throat. Wait, is it not with the drug? Hair and pieces of stuff of this because we're in the hidden chamber. Victims' bodies were discovered at the bottom of the old well, as per the testimony of the victim Mion Sonozaki. In addition, investigations continue into any possible connection to the series of mysterious deaths, but no evidence of Shion Sonozaki's direct and indirect involvement is found. Still many obscurities to the motive, due to extreme non-cooperation. Local police who are familiar, may have been internal lynching. Yeah, this is just a worse version of the real ending. No wonder people said to not get this one. Expected to gain hints, who was unable to be under confinement. She's severe. So, but again, now this is actual Mion, right? Her inquiry has been postponed in favor of her psychological and physical. According to her primary care physician, although her condition is fairly serious, there's strong prospect of recovery, and she's at present undergoing rehab with the support of her close friends. Several weeks have passed since then. I guess I can stop being evil now. After that, I was rescued by Oishi-san and his team whom Rena had summoned. I had no other after effects aside from my consciousness that had been wiped white. If I were to have any at all, it would have to be the deep scars that had been left inside my heart. As I was being examined at the hospital, I was subjected to various queries from Oishi-san. I tried to answer him with whatever little I knew, but I had no idea if it had met his expectations, and neither did I bear any responsibility to do so. From what I heard, Shion had already lost too much blood by the time the police had arrived, and she had stopped breathing. They urgently called for an ambulance and took her to the clinic, but there was barely any time for first aid, and she took her last breath. The silver lining was that Mion, who had been captive in her cell, was safe and was taken into custody by the police. Up until the point I lost consciousness, I was afraid that Shion might fly into a rage and murder Mion. But I was just glad that we managed to avoid the worst case scenario. What? Only when Mion was rescued, she was emaciated and had sustained severe psychological trauma. Apparently, at the time of her rescue, she had been completely unable to respond to the police's questions. Right now, Mion is admitted to a large hospital in the vicinity and undergoing treatment for her psychological and physical injuries. In the beginning, we're Keiichi, okay. When Ren and I went to visit, her eyes were downcast in desolation, and she looked completely worn out. It was a horrible state to be in. Okay, that makes more sense now. But despite it all, as of late, she's on her way to recovery, finally well enough to show us a few smiles. Of course, we had been careful not to bring up Satoko or Rika-chan, and especially Shion. The police later conducted an on-site investigation at the Sonozaki house's underground storehouse several days after the incident took place. Particularly, the well in which Satoko and Rika-chan's bodies were disposed of by Shion was carefully surveyed by the prefectural forensic investigators, and true to Shion's testimony, the girls were discovered. Apparently, sediment had accumulated at the bottom of the well, and hence the discovery had taken several days. Along with Satoko and the other victims, skeletal remains that were several years old, even several decades old, were found, but it's not like I would know much about that. Even I was something. Even I was summoned back to that place to assist with crime scene investigation, but I didn't really help them find anything important. The Sonozaki family in Okonomiya, in other words, Mion and Shion's parents, came home every day several times along with many of their followers to formally apologize. And no matter how much my parents refused, they kept piling up banknotes worth millions of yen as compensation. And once that money had piled up and reached a certain amount, on the same day there came an envelope with a letter instead. I have no idea what was written in that letter. My parents had discussed amongst themselves for 2 nights straight without consulting me. and decided we would move away from Hinamizawa. Yep, okay, so we can assume that that happened in the main ending too, right?
そっか。引っ越しちゃうんだね。いつ？
来月の終わり。ひなみ沢には結局
Oh, right, wait.
半年も居つかなかったことになるな。
This is what happens in the main story, right?
寂しくなるね。
But then I'm curious how this is going to happen then, because it's
きっ
different.
とみーちゃんも悲しむよ。
Because yeah, she's around.
悪い。ミオンにも
I wish we had
正
the
直
box
話
back.
すべきか。
I missed that
迷ってる。
black box. It is the best. Once Rena heard me say that, she strongly insisted I had to tell her no matter what.
確かに、今みーちゃんにそれを告げるのは酷なのかもしれない。でも、ケイチくんが黙っていなくなっちゃう方が、きっとみーちゃんは辛いと思う。だから、一緒に話しに行こう。ね。
ああ、そうだな。
あ、そっか。ケイちゃん、ひなみ沢からいなくなっちゃうんだ。
Even though she heard it from me. Mion whispered those words sadly, but she didn't seem that surprised. Surely she had mentally prepared herself for this outcome somewhere inside of her heart.
すまん。けど俺、いつかひなみ沢に戻ってくるつもりだ。約束する。
いいよ。無理しなくても。ここに来ても。きっとケイちゃんにいいことなんて何もないんだから。
みーちゃん。
Both Ren and I wanted to say it wasn't so. But after such a tragic incident, what verbal consolation could we offer that would help to Mion, who had suffered a much greater pain than we ever had? And so he just stood there, unable to say anything, just wallowing in silence.
私も東京に行こうかな。
え？
来週退院できるらしいんだけど、ここにいてもいいことあんまりないし。
I think it's a good idea to get the hell out of here. If I was brutally tortured in a city by my estranged twin sister who replaced me in life, I would probably move to Saskatchewan.
東京でなくてもどこか遠く、私のこともひなみ沢のことも知らない土地に行きたい。
I mean, Saskatchewan is the polar opposite of Tokyo. Like, I cannot think of a place in the world more opposite of Tokyo than Saskatchewan. But if you want a place where nobody knows you, damn, Saskatchewan is the place to go.
やり直せるなんて都合のいいことは考えてないけど、もう疲れちゃった。全部投げ出したいよ。
Okay, that sounds like someone who wants to kill herself.
ミオン。
Mion had been forced to carry the name of the head of the Sonozaki family and the representative of the three great families, all due to a small misunderstanding. Despite feeling uncertain and weary about her unplanned responsibility, she had nevertheless been earnest and given her all to fulfill her duties. But to think, all of that had been concluded in such a manner. It was such a tremendous loss that it's almost a surprise she hasn't completely lost her mind. Who can really blame Mion anymore for making such a faint-hearted remark? And so I wanted to devote even a little bit of my remaining time here for her.
そうだな、ミオン。一緒にどこか行くか。
え？どこへ？
決まってるだろ。旅行だよ。俺がここにいられる期間はもうあまりないけど、だったらせめて
This is
少しで
sweet.
もいい思い出を取り返しておかないとな。東京はちょっと遠いけど、大きな町とかに足を伸ばしてうまい飯とか買い物とかさ。どうだ？
どうって言われても。
それとってもいいと思うな。行っておいでよ、みーちゃん。ね。
けどってレナ一緒に来てくれないの？
After hearing that, even I grow puzzled. Hadn't I suggested the three of us all hang together? No, Rena knows. Rena knows.
だってレナは馬になんて蹴られたくないもん。
Rena can read the room.
だから二人っきりでどうぞ。あ、お土産買ってきてくれると嬉しいな。はう。
It's been so long since we heard a howl. Boom! Mion blushes vigorously. I was slow to react because I didn't understand what Rena was getting at, but seeing Mion's face imbued with a color after a long time, my heartbeat grew faster for a moment. No, it wasn't what I implied when I suggested the idea, but depending on the point of view, wouldn't this be an invitation to a
い
date?
かん。 ちょっと調子に乗りすぎたかも。
Indeed, after seeing it that way, I was overcome with embarrassment, but there was no way I could back out after coming this far. This is all for Mion's sake. Pull yourself together, Keiichi, my bara.
どうだミオン。あ、もちろん医者と親御さんにはちゃんと了解を取るつもりだぜ。
Yeah, I think you could ask the parents anything and they would say yes, please. Yeah, no, go ahead.
あんまり無理はさせないつもりだから考えておいてくれよ。
わかった。考えておくね。
はう、みーちゃんが久々に可愛いよ。嬉しいな、嬉しいな。はうはうはう。
After that, we spent the day talking about harmless stuff that happened at school or in the neighborhood until it was evening. I felt like Mion had regained some of her spirit and acted a bit like she used to, so I was happy. After a few days, Mion had contacted me to say she was okay with my plan. After spending a few more days to convince my folks and Mion's parents, we set off on a day's trip to a metropolis at one of those bullet train stations. I guess that'd be new at that time, huh? Oh, here's the background. Yeah, okay, here it is. Okay, that's not the Don Quixote with the crazy thing. Okay, where is this, I wonder? Does this probably won't have alternate backgrounds, right? We'd go under P. Oh, we got the thing back. Nice. Yeah, I don't think this has I mean, unless I can go to settings. Let's see here. Background. Because I doubt this exists, right? Graphics. Let's see here. Background. Yeah. Cool. Oh my god, we got it back though. Hell yeah.
しばらく見ないうちに、ここってすごく大きくなったんだね。
As soon as she stepped out of the station, Mion set eyes on scenery sprawling with people and cars. She shared her feelings and excitement as she looked on admiringly. What I heard, unless it's on a very important business, Mion rarely gets to leave the village, let alone come out to a big city like this. Because of that, everything she saw looked fresh and fascinating to her. She pranced around merrily, almost like a child.
ねえねえ、ケイちゃん、これからどこに行くの？
そうだな。ミオンの好みから考えて、あそこはどうだ？
The place I was pointing to, when I checked out, oh my god, it's an arcade. When I checked out, I was going to make a joke about that. Checked out in advance was a massive, beautifully decorated game arcade that towered over a corner of the station shopping square.
くぅ、なかなか盛大に遊び回ったな。
面白かった。あんなにゲームで遊んだの、本当に久しぶりだよ。
As I sat down on the bench, Mion was gleefully draining her can of juice with a huge smile. That expression was unlike the gloomy one Mion had worn at the hospital. Next to me was the Mion I knew well. Earlier, we had a blast, vowing to conquer all the game consoles in the vicinity and made quite the ruckus without caring about the people watching. Mion was enjoying herself playing on the consoles she wasn't used to, and had gone on a rampage, laughing out loud, getting worked up, challenging me to matches. Although, I couldn't help but thinking about what-ifs as I was playing with her. About how much fun it would have been if only it weren't just the two of us, but also Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan as well. I'm sure Mion must have been thinking the same thing, which was also, I'm just gonna
なあ、
click.
ミオン。
Which was also why I outdid myself, making so much noise, trying to battle loneliness, when I had realized.
何ケイちゃん。
With faint drops of sweat coating her forehead, Mion turned to face me with a broad smile. Mion's cheerfulness was most likely just her being considerate towards me for having brought her here. Well, if that was so, then I need to do the same for her.
お前、全部初めてって言ってたけど、それ本当か？初プレイで2台もハイスコアに名前入れるなんて、とんでもない実力だぜ。
ちっちっち。4台の間違いだよケイちゃん。こういうのはセンスと勘、そして動体視力がものを言うのさ。普段の鍛錬を怠らなかった成果だよ。むしろケイちゃんはアドバンテージをひっくり返されたことを恥と思うべきだね。
おいおい、ちょっと待てよ。エアホッケーの時とか、あれ何？なんて後ろを指さして顔を向けた瞬間打ち込んできたのは反則だろ？
Actually, there's no rules against that.
まったく。よ。
勝てば官軍、負ければ賊軍だよ。
For the time being, it's alright if her well-being is a front. All I can hope for is that someday this becomes real and she recovers her old cheerful self.
いやいや、それにしてもゲーセンも雰囲気が変わったよな。少し前ならタバコ臭くて暗いイメージだったけど、家族連れで遊びに来る人も結構いたからちょっと驚いたぜ。
Yeah, this is something I've heard about in Japan, where really, like, the view of game centers, game arcades, were quite different before the fighting game boom.
そうだね。やっぱたまにはこういうのも楽しいよね。あ、今何時ぐらい
5時くらいかな。
ああ、じゃあ夕食まであと少しだね。どこかで食べて帰る？
そうだな。ファーストフードでハンバーガーなんてどうだ？
おお、いいね。
You know what? For someone who lives in the country, I get it.
あ、その前にちょっと失礼。
Mion said that and stood up from the bench. I found it odd for a minute, but then I understood her intention and
店にもトイレはあるぞ。
yeah, got a shit. Instead of a reply, I had empty cans thrown at me. Mion stuck her tongue out at me and left in a hurry. And after I watched her retreating figure, I plopped back down on the bench and looked up at the sky. The sky was pure blue and crystal clear, and it felt amazing. Everything seemed to be glowing, bathed in the brilliant summer sun. It's a good thing we came here. Mion also seemed to show signs of recovery.
そうだな。なんなら今度はいっそ東京にでも誘ってみるか。
Why do I think she's going to kill herself? It'd be cheaper if she stayed at our new place there, but I feel like our parents may be concerned for a while. We still needed some more time to go back to how it was.
そうなると泊まる場所も探しておかないとな。あとは
Why, hello there.
ああ、こんにちは。
What the frick? Also, shoutouts to this brilliant angle of destiny.
いやー、ごめんケイちゃん。
What?
トイレ人いっぱいでさ。あ、結構待たせちゃったみたいだから飲み物買ってきた。どっちがいい？あれ、ケイちゃん寝ちゃったの？もうしょうがないな。女の子とのデート中に居眠りなんてエチケット違反だよ。ケイちゃん、もういつまで寝てるんだよ。
What do you mean, why hello there?
ほら、起きて。ケイちゃん。
Okay, wait, I'm sorry, but this is... I know it's just extreme, like, foreshortening and forelengthening and whatever, but, How is the bot... Where is he? How is... What? What? Like, what angle did he fall at? His legs are still, like, fine. What?
はっ。
Well, that's an interesting graphic because that looks specifically like the almost like ripped throat. What the frick? What the frick? What do you mean bad end? What do you mean bad end? Okay, like, okay, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. I don't know. I actually did like some things about that ending. I did. There was some stuff I liked about it for sure. But I also am extremely confused by... Well, you know what? That just felt like a... I don't know, like a preview of what's going to come up next time. You know what I'm also going to look at? How many Chivos am I missing for this? Okay, just the one, which is probably for watching the staff room. Okay. Well, here we go. Staff room to finish it. Here we go. Let's get a little bit silly. And a bit fourth wall breaky. Oh, wait, what? Okay, well, I thought we'd be at the place for our drinks, but apparently we're at the freaking archives room of the police department. Do you think that murder can be justified depending on the motive? Oh, hi! Hi, this is Ryukishi07. Okay. Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Kai, Chapter 5, Meakashi. Although I depict many deaths in this work, I often ask myself a question. Well, this is way more interesting then. That question is there such a thing as justifiable murder? In our world, murder is prosecuted. Is this a Hi, here at Higurashi, we deal with a lot of death, but I'm here to tell you that I don't condone that. Is that what we're doing? That's what it feels like. In our world, murder is prosecuted, and the degree of punishment varies depending on the motive and circumstances. Having different degrees of punishment means that we are putting value on the— oh, what the frick, I've never considered this. We are putting a value on the dead person's life. Some scenes I mean, like, I guess you're not wrong. Some scenes justify murder in Higurashi. By degrading the life of the victim in those scenes, the player can sympathize with the characters more easily. The degree of sympathy would be different from person to person. The people who could sympathize probably felt catharsis, and the people who disagreed with the character might have felt uncomfortable. That's indicated by how opinions were polarized regarding Keiichi's actions in Tatarigoroshi. Oh. Okay. In Meakashi, there are also a number of murders, but this time the main character Shion tries to earn sympathy for each one of them. How did you feel? How much were you able to sympathize with her? If you couldn't sympathize with her at all, then please berate her as a crazy murderer. If you sympathize with her at all, then please have mercy on her. If you sympathize with her almost entirely, then please have mercy on her. If you completely sympathize with her, I was gonna say, then let us please berate both of you as crazy murderers. What about me? Well, that's a secret. I like to reverse my question this time. What kind of murderer could you sympathize with if you were to be killed? A murderer who doesn't care about people's lives? Well, that'd be quite a regrettable death. It's extremely sad to be killed in denial of all your values. Okay, this is so— remember how I said time to get silly and fourth wall breaky? This is super not what this is. A murderer who begs for forgiveness in tears? That'd be quite regrettable too. They shouldn't kill you at all if they're begging your forgiveness. So what kind of murderer could you sympathize with? In the end, sympathy might just be a method for making the story more interesting. If you can sympathize, it's fun. If you can't sympathize, they're just crazy. We cannot put value on human life. It's a sin even to try doing so. A murder is a murder. Nothing more than that. I just hope everybody can live happily together. How does that sound? Would you agree to that? If you wouldn't... Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 5, Meakashi. I can only bring out this 5th episode thanks to all your support. Higurashi will only get... Great! Will only get more intense as it approaches the finale. Nothing would make me happier than if you continued reading the chapters to come. Hey, no worries there. I already bought them all. The next chapter will be titled Sumi Horoboshi. Really, I'm rather fortunate if you enjoyed yourself even a little. Thank you again for playing. I hope this has brought a little color to your life. Yeah, the color is red. 07th expansion, Ryokishi 07. Is that actually just what it's going to be? Well, I guess because there's no more discussing the answers or anything, right? Huh. Remarkably different tone from that. Had a chat with Ryukishi 07. That's an insane, dude. I'm so happy Steam hides the achievements because that's insane. Okay, wow. I was expecting to sit down for a half hour of characters being silly, but I guess really it with the tone of this one, it makes sense to not do that, right? Wow. Well, there we go. We have finished Higurashi Chapter 5 Meikashi. And with that, we are taking another little break from Higurashi, mostly because I'm going back home to Canada and I can't be like in my parents' basement doing crazy screaming and stuff like I do in this. So we'll be coming back to this after the summer, right? We'll be playing this in September, probably. If nothing else comes up, it'll be in September, right? If we get a surprise shadow drop of Tsukihime Red Garden, then yeah, I'll be playing that instead. But if not, then we'll be doing it in September. That's the plan. So, with that said, thank you all for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time for Sumi Horoboshi, or whatever the hell it was called. I've already forgotten. We'll see you guys then. Ciao. Yo.